Hello, this is Thomas, K4SWL. If you're new here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos. And today I'm at the Vance Historic Birthplace here in Western North Carolina. One of my favorite spots to come to because they've got this great shelter, which I don't really need today, but honestly there's not a lot of other spaces they have around here with picnic tables and stuff, and it's really nice and comfortable. I've got a bunch of gear with me. More than I need. Frankly, what I was trying to do was figure out this new pack, how I want to pack it out. This is my Spec Ops THE Pack EDC. Now, I wrote an article about this, and I'll probably link to it in the description below, because I've got a link to qrpeer.com where I'll have a quick article about this activation. And basically, I packed it out, and I just wanted to see how much stuff it would fit, basically, because it's a smaller pack, but it's perfect for soda. And I want to take my TX-500 out. It has been a few weeks since I've had it out, and I've been missing it. And so I brought it out today, along with a new item, which is this little insignia, which is basically a Best Buy sort of in-store brand Bluetooth/auxiliary amplified speaker. I got this with the idea, I just wanted to see what the audio would sound like instead of using the speaker mic this time. I don't know if there'll be much of a difference, to be honest. I really want this for my MTR3B, my KX1, and the QCX Mini. And I'm hoping this will do a lot better job than the little teeny speaker I had on Mount Mitchell with my QCX Mini. If you want to see a catastrophe of a little activation, you can go look up that video. If I can think about it, I'll link to it above, but if I forget, you can remind me. I'll try to put it in later. Anyway, today, so I've got the new speaker. I'm just using my 3 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery and the Chameleon MPAS Lite, mainly because I wanted to see how the MPAS Lite all fit in this pack, which it fits amazingly well because this pack actually has an antenna port. Not just one, but 2. They built it in here for hydration and for antennas. So there's actually a port on this side as well. So I could actually bring the tactical delta loop on a soda activation, and both of the antennas just stick out about this far on the pack, which is just about ideal for me. It shouldn't snag too much as I'm taking trails and that sort of thing, so I'm looking forward to taking it to the field. Now, I will tell you, the bands today are incredibly quiet. I have no idea if I'll be heard out there, but we'll see what happens. It's also a little breezy. It's probably 45 degrees Fahrenheit, just a little breezy. It's really pleasant today, actually, and I'm enjoying this weather. Let's see, so let me get going here, and I'm hoping this audio is up enough. I can turn it up a little bit if we need to, but since this is an amplified speaker, I expect to hear a pop from this probably when I start keying down. I'm on 40 meters, running about 5 watts. And let's see here, let me just put down the time. I've also got the Hammers app up. I put up things in advance this time just to save on space with this particular video. Oh, yes, and I'm also using the Elecraft T1 antenna tuner, which works great for this. So everything should be set up. I've got everything listed in here. Let's just go ahead and start calling CQ. I don't know how easy it's going to be for me to do the logging on the side. I don't know if I've set up beacon mode on this yet. I need to. I'm trying to manage the camera. This will be a little funky probably. I'm hoping the reverse beacon network will pick me up here and spot me, because I'm not logged into the POTA app, so it'll be a little bit of a pain to log into it to log myself today. Well, let's hope the RBN doesn't listen to that call sign. I don't know what a da-da-did-it would be. I really worry about propagation. I'm looking on the spectrum display, and there are very few signals out there. I can see the FT8 chunk, but that's about it. Well, there. K9. Okay, I'll go ahead and send. I suspect the bands are just not in that great a shape today. Okay. Just missed the number. Oh, okay, what? Yeah, I got him. Good to hear you, K3ES. My logs are sloppy today. Okay, go ahead and call CQ again. So I've got 4 here pretty easily, but you can hear how the bands are going up and down and up and down. That should be a 16. That should be a 17. Not that that really matters. You could hear it. I can't remember if it was WA3GM's exchange or whose, but you could hear the signal level could dip way down. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm doing something weird with my key today. Good to hear you on here, Mike. Mike's guy actually sent me this key. I've got some kind of QRM here. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Well, let's call CQ again here. Okay, we got 7 contacts so far. Not too bad. Okay. I need to... Let's just make this a little easier to hear. There we go. What I did was narrowed the filter. The filter was kind of wide open. I may move up to the 30-meter band, actually. Not that it'll be any better than this one, but... I'm not exactly going for DX today. I'm just going for completing an activation. Why do I keep making that same mistake over and over again? You only need one more for a valid activation. That's not too bad. See, somebody else will pop in here. I know how you feel there, buddy. I know how you feel. It's not easy doing that, is it? Okay. I do not know what is going on with my muscle memory today. Can't blame it on cold fingers today. Okay. Oh, KQ. I don't know what is going on with my fist today. Okay, where'd he go? Okay. Sure sign of QSB. Yeah, I'm about as weak as he is. But he's coming up now. Somehow I messed up my times here, but don't worry about that because it's all in here anyway. That's going to bother all the OCD people out here, though. I have people tell me all the time, like, I can't stand it that you have like some that don't have times on them. But you know, when you're out here doing stuff, you do what you can. Okay, let's see. Just hard to... Okay, there we go. It's something I'm doing here today. I can't figure it out. But you're lucky enough this makes it in the video because I put everything in my video, so, right? Oh, whoops. Thought I heard a really, really weak station in there, but I couldn't tell if it was sending me a call or if it was chatting with somebody else. Okay. Dang it, I don't know why I'm doing that. Okay, well. I was going to move up to 30. Maybe I should anyway, but I've already got my contacts I need. I got 15 contacts so far. It's not doing bad, but the conditions, it's just there's a lot of QSB today. I need to adjust the AGC on the TX-500 as well, because basically, in fact, let me just go ahead and move bands. You know what though? I'm looking at the time and I need to pack up. Actually, I'm just doing this quick little activation. My daughters are at an art class nearby, and it just happens to be here close to Vance. So I just thought I'd pop by today, and I'm looking at the time now. By the time I pack this up, I really don't have a lot of extra time, so I'm going to pack up and call it a day here. But I'm pretty pleased. It's really nice taking the TX-500 out for a spin again. I really do love this radio. In fact, I'm going on a vacation soon, and I'll probably take it and maybe the IC705 for doing some recordings and doing some other stuff. I need to bring the IC705 out again as well. But this radio is just like nothing else on the market. I'm looking forward to, in fact, probably by the time this video comes out, I'll already have it and have been playing with it and posting about it. But the Xiegu X6100 is coming out. And I think a lot of people really love the idea of it. But I've got to be honest, for field radios, I kind of think simple is better. And this is the right balance. It has a spectrum display that's got a lot of information on it, actually. I mean, it's decent. It doesn't have a waterfall. It's monochrome, but it's easy to read. The thing has almost no consumption at all of battery power, which is nice. And I just love this thing. I love the TX-500. And yeah, about the only thing about it is since I do videos with audio, and I don't have a separate, audio recorder running just with the audio from the radio itself, it means I've got to use an external speaker and hook that up, because this has no internal battery, no internal speaker, no internal ATU, and it will have a battery pack that'll attach onto the back at some point. Lab 599 is working on that right now. There's also an ATU and amplifier that attach on, made by DIY 599, I believe. I'm probably not going to review that. I think it's a really cool piece of kit, but I never operate over 5 watts in the field, so I don't really need it. And I'm probably not going to get it for that reason. I do it just for the cool factor. I think it looks really good with the radio, but it's just not something I would use. But I love this thing, and it packs away so nicely. Yeah, if you are waiting in line for one of these, you won't be disappointed. It's great. Now, there is an issue with the AGC that they're working on right now, and I think there are a few AGC settings. I've never played with it too much, but basically, you may have heard with all this QS Baker going on that sometimes signals would just about blast through, and I'd have to turn down the AF gain. But that's because I didn't have really any AGC engaged, and I need to change that in here because they've been working on that a little bit. But that is one thing that they've worked on. Otherwise, this radio came out, as a prototype. The pre-production version I tested was solid already. The X6100, in contrast, has a lot of little issues going on with pre-production model, especially that Josh was showing on Ham Radio Crash Course. And even the production model probably will have a lot of little things that need to be worked out, and a lot of things that aren't built in. This came out very polished, almost like an Elecraft radio or an ICOM or a Yaesu or a Kenwood or something. Came out very, very polished from the very beginning, because they did probably a year's worth of beta testing on it. So that really shows when manufacturers do that. I'm not a fan of early adopters being beta testers. I really don't like that, and one of the reasons why is because it inevitably what happens is manufacturers will make little small hardware changes as well after the first production run, and so then you have batches of radios sometimes that have not quite the same hardware. There's like a little something different from the first production run to the second and third, and I don't like that. These radios, absolutely solid. Love the thing. So anyway, I need to stop talking and get packing and go pick up my daughters. Thank you so much for joining me today, and if you'd like, you can subscribe if you feel like it. I don't monetize this channel with ads. You won't see ads pop up on my channel. If you feel like supporting me, you can. I have links below for Patreon and for my coffee fund. If you feel like doing that. Now, if you're saving up for your first radio or doing something like that, or you need the money, don't worry about it. I'll survive. But if you feel like it, I appreciate your contributions. I'm planning to upgrade my camera equipment, my audio equipment here a little bit this upcoming year. I'm not going to change the way I do things. These are always going to be real-time, real-life things with no edits. But I do want to do something to make the audio just a little nicer and possibly even the video a little bit better. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you so much. And until next time, 7 threes.